All right, man. Peace. So Adrien the Problem Broner fought against Jessie Vargas tonight. It was a fight that had its share of ebbs and flows. At certain points in the fight, the action started to wane, and at certain points, it started to build up. And to be quite frank with you, I thought that it was Adrien's best performance against a higher level opponent in many, many years. As a matter of fact, this is the best condition that I've seen Adrien in I don't know how long. He was able to call upon his punch output when he needed it. Adrien's never going to be a guy who throws 80 punches around. So for those of you out there who are looking for Adrien to be a guy who's going to exchange and dance and move and exhibit head movement and the wrinkles that we normally would associate with the higher level boxers, that's never going to happen. He's a fun fighter to watch. That's it. He's the Russell Westbrook of boxing. That's really what his ass is. He's someone who has a very low boxing IQ, but he has all the physical gifts in the world. But pay very close attention to Jessie Vargas' back. Look at this man's back. I mentioned this yesterday at the weigh-in. I saw his chest. His chest had all those acne marks on it. And now you look at his back, it's very clear that this man is on performance-enhancing drugs. I have no idea what type of PED testing they did for this fight, if any. Maybe they didn't do any. But it's very obvious to me that this man is on some type of performance enhancer, allegedly. Allegedly. But once again, the fight was a draw. I have no problem with it. You know why? Because I don't expect anything from either one of these boxers on a higher scale. And that's okay. There should be a space, there should be a strata for boxers who are just here to entertain. And that's what those two guys are going to do. That's not to say that they'll never win a championship belt at the 147-pound weight class or 140. They just may. If there is a dearth of high-level boxers at a certain weight class, they can steal a belt. Adrien can go down to 140 and steal another belt. He may even be able to steal a belt at 147. Who knows? If the division empties out of all the talent that it currently has. He may be able to dwell there long enough and steal a belt at 32 years old or 33 years old, but he's never going to be the person that many of the more ardent boxing fans want him to be, and that's okay. After a while, you just have to accept the fact that you have a girlfriend, not a wife. You have fun with her, you guys go out, you laugh, you smile, but you don't trust that bitch. And I don't trust Adrien Broner as far as I could throw him. I always expect him to do something stupid because, to be quite frank with you, he's not that swift. We have to learn to accept people for who they are and what they bring to the table, as opposed to always complaining about what they're not doing. You know why they're not doing it? Because they can't. Now, this is another still shot from the bout. Pay very close attention to Jessie Vargas' neck. All the way from the back of his neck to under his jawline, you see very, very exaggerated levels of acne. It's very clear that this dude is on something, allegedly. I have no idea what type of PED testing they did for this fight, but wherever it was, Jessie Vargas certainly seems to have the key to defeating the test. Or maybe he was training with Canelo and he had some of that tainted meat. Who the hell knows? But this dude looks like somebody threw acid on his neck. I mean, damn. I guess Adrien didn't give a shit. Now, if any of you brothers out there are going to ask me if I had a problem with the draw, no, I did not. You know why? Because for the most part, I think that the draw encapsulates what both these fighters' careers are about. They're fighters who oftentimes people may have expectations for that they shouldn't have, and they get disappointed. So I had no problem with the draw. I think that these two fighters should fight a couple more times, just so we can verify who the better gatekeeper is. Because this right here is the gatekeeper Olympics. I have no doubt about that. They're going to fight a couple more times, and it's good. You have certain fighters who match up very well. And I remember back in the day, I believe it was Ivan Robinson who used to fight Arturo Gatti all the time. You have these type of fights. Just let them keep fighting. Adrien can't beat anybody good at 147. Neither can Jessie Vargas. It'll give them something to do, some money to make. They can headline another card, maybe another 6 months. Or, hell, maybe be on the undercard of a mega bout. Either way, it doesn't really make a big difference. I'm just happy that Adrien finally decided to get his body in a little bit better condition so that when he needed to, he could summon the punches that he needed to summon to at least eke out a draw. Because if this was the Adrien of last year or the Adrien who fought Mikey Garcia, there's no way that he even would have been able to eke out a draw. He would have lost this bout. because Jessie Vargas, whatever he has pumping through his veins, was in very good shape. He was taking hellified punches, and he was also delivering hellified punches. He's not known for being a one-punch knockout fighter, but he does have good little pop in his punches, good enough pop to be able to keep off Adrien from just walking through him. Even though Adrien showed, as usual, that he has a lot of heart, he has a lot of courage, and he has a great chin. He just doesn't have that special something that would make him a transcendent champion at 147. It is what it is. But anyway, congratulations to Jamal Charlo, as well as Gervonta Tank Davis. I believe that the sky's the limit for the both of them, as long as they keep their minds where they're supposed to be. In regards to Adrien, I believe that his ship has sailed, but he can still make a lot of money because he is a name in boxing. I'm just here looking at the Adrien Broner and Jessie Vargas post-fight. And of course, Jim Gray, he's trying to execute his post-fight interview with Adrien Broner. And it's very obvious to me that Adrien Broner has a mental issue, whatever it is. I don't know if it's CTE or if he thinks that his little act of being rude and incorrigible is endearing or charismatic when it's really not. But he's going to find himself a truly marginalized person after his fighting career is over. Nobody's going to want him to possibly be a fight commentator for them. Nobody's going to want his opinion on what he believes the outlook for boxing will be, on who the up-and-coming fighters are. Nobody's going to care what he has to say. He does not understand that because he doesn't think on a high level. It's very obvious that he has mental problems. But anyway, peace.